Welcome back, Stas23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down works as well. And if you like knife content and you're not already, smash that subscribe button. Alrighty, today I have for you the Kizer knives and Chris Conaway collaboration Deviant. Chris Conaway is a custom knife maker of sheepdog knives, and he's definitely notable for the Kizer sheepdog that is still super popular for Kizer, probably one of their most popular models if I had to take a guess. The Deviant comes in at $149, and you can get it in this variation, or you can also get it with a stonewash blade, copper bolster, and green G10. Let's get some specs out of the way. You have an overall length of 7 1/4 inches, so it's that medium to small knife. You have a blade length of 3 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas. You have a grip area from the front of that choil to the back over here of 3 3/4 inches. You have a handle thickness from here to here of 0.49, so a little below average in the thickness. Closed width in the pocket is pretty slim at 1.22 inches. You have a pretty stout blade stock thickness of 0.12 inches. And this has been sharpened by me, but I followed the factory bevel, and the thinness behind the edge is around 18 thousandths and is sharpened at 20 degrees per side. So there you go. There's how big the bevel is at 20 degrees per side. All right. Before we get into any more, let's break off into some usage footage, and then I will give y'all my final conclusions at the end. See y'all in a sec. All right, we're gonna start out with some cardboard. Check the sharpness. 739 got stupid sharp. All right. All right, we're gonna cut the different thickness. This is rubber double-walled tubing, some 3/8 bungee cord, and some really thick, dense tubing. Start with the red first. Very nice. Go to the bungee. Nice. Go to this stuff. Alrighty, go to some sisal rope. So far, that front portion still nice and sharp. Good to go. All right, we're gonna slice up some leather, see how well that tip performs. got almost all the way through. I didn't push down too hard, so let's get the rest of the way through. Yeah, it was through in most spots. Let's do some nice push cutting without a problem, like butter. All right, now we're gonna cut up some denim, some rolled up denim. Get somebody up there, jeans. Alrighty, we're gonna test the ergos on some pine 2x4. I already have a blister from testing other knives, so just so you know that didn't come from this one. Let's see how it fares. Nice. Let's check that edge after cutting everything. Still sharp, not as sharp as it started, but it's still sharp. Got a small little hang up, might be some gunk on the blade. Yes, I would call that still sharp. Go slow, you got a hang up right there. You got a few small hang ups. One thing I forgot to mention, whenever I was doing the wood carving, when I was pushing the blade, pushing up like that, when I was putting downward pressure, and being that this handle slims out right here, it was causing this portion, let's see if you can see that, this portion right here just to push up against the hand, which was a little uncomfortable, but I was holding it in a hammer grip right here. Whenever I held it in a saber grip up here, I didn't have a problem because I was pushing down on that blade, so it wasn't pushing the handle as much. But I definitely felt that I was having to grip it tighter in this area right here. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that footage. That's just basically some common everyday tasks that you might cut with this knife. No, I'm not really doing edge retention testing. My buddy Pete at Cedric and Ada does a great job of that. Outpost 76 does a great job. Super Steel Steve, all of them do a great job of edge retention testing. I'm basically just, seeing how they perform in those, tasks that I showed. Overall, I think the knife cut really well. Get a close look at it. You have a sheep's foot blade of M390 steel. It's got like a black PVD coating on there. You have about a 3/4 of the way flat ground blade. Dual thumb studs, kind of like the Benchmade bug out studs. They're decently comfortable. You have the Kizer logo on this side, blade steel M390 on this side. Flip it over, you have the sheepdog knives, maker's mark right there, and the name of the knife, the Deviant, right here. Close it up. You have the knife riding on ceramic bearings, and I don't know, I won't be able to show that, but a ceramic detent ball. Got a nice smooth action, drop shut, comes out with authority. Detent is a little stiff on my variant, but some people like that. Whenever I go to slow roll it, it wants to jump out of the scale a little bit, but it's great for flicking it out like that. You got no jimping up top, but with all the cutting I did not see the need because you got a nice flat spot to lay your finger up there. Close it up. You got white G10 in the front in the bolster, black canvas micarta for the back side, And I think if you like the color combo, it's kind of like a tuxedo look, more gentleman type carry, I guess. If you like the color combo, I think it's attractive. I think they did a good job. You don't feel any spaces in the handle scales at all. You don't see any voids or spaces in that. The micarta looks nice. You can see that nice grain in there. It feels good as well. There's no sharp edges. They did a good job of kind of knocking that hard edge off by beveling it. And you do have a slight contour, not a deep contour, but a slight contour in the scales. Feels nice in the hand. Your pivot is just a standard T8 pivot. All your body screws are T6s. You have a huge lanyard hole right there. Yep, can almost fit a pinky through it now. You have hourglass standoffs that you're going into here. Flow through construction, so if you want to blow it out, you can. On this side, you have a deep carry loop over pocket clip that has been screwed in from the bottom side, as you can see. And they stick up a little bit, but I didn't notice it catching on anything. Your lock bar access is good. You got that nice, generous cutout. You can easily get to that lock bar. You can easily actuate those thumb studs on both sides. It's a little bit closer here, but I have no problem actuating the lock bar or the thumb studs left-handed. Can't seem to find the pants that I showed you this, but you have just about that corner sticking up, not much at all, and it's dark, so you don't really notice it. Blade to handle ratio is pretty good. It comes all the way to this back standoff, about the furthest you could go, because if you come out any further, it would go above that line, so I think they did a good job there. You do have a nice sharpening choil. As you can see, I didn't have any smile toward the edge. Love it when they get that right. It makes my job a lot easier when I go to resharpen it. Blade centering, even though it's hard to show, is perfect. You have stainless steel liners that have also been coated black. And as you can see, you have lightning pockets drilled out, holes in there to free up some weight. Let's get a quick weight on this. First in grams, 100 grams and 3.5 ounces. I think that's excellent. Doesn't meet that ounce and inch some people care about, but I don't. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think that's about it. Let's get some size comparisons and then I will give you a few of my nitpicks. First, you got the Concept Pelican EDC. It's a little bit smaller. And you have the Savivi Pintail, which is also, it's a good bit smaller, but the Concept's pretty close. You have about the same handle grip area in the Pelican. Let's see, two more common. You have the Rat Model 1, which dwarfs it, and the Rat Model 2, which is way closer in size. The Rat Model 2 is just a hair shorter, not by much. But you definitely have way more handle room, in my opinion, than this, being that it has this big old choil right there. So, my nitpicks. I would have loved to see a swedge or something up here. It just looks kind of plain, but, you know. And that blade, that coating, that PVD coating looks kind of cheap. It doesn't look terrible in this light right here, but whenever I'm in my bright lights, it kind of just looks a little plain. I kind of rather it maybe a bit stonewashed, but I guess that goes better with the whole theme. Also, you have the logo right there. I don't see the need to put the name on the blade. You know, Bestech used to do that. They took it off, and it just gets rid of some of the clutter. I think that looks nice, the logo there. And I like having the blade steel designation, and that's okay. In cutting, it was actually very comfortable. Only thing I noticed whenever I was doing the wood shaving and it was pushing, like when I didn't have my finger, I was holding it in the hammer grip, it was pushing down, and being that this handle gets slimmer back here, I was trying to hold on to this a little bit harder. I talked about it and it kind of hurt my finger right there, but it wasn't a huge deal. And the only other thing that, you know, to me at this price point, I think they could have did better. But first off, this is a stainless spot clip. I think they could have gave us the titanium one, and it is super, super thin. I mean, this thing, it just feels really cheap. And also, if you go blind screw it, try to make it flush. That would have been nice. You know, that does run the risk of getting caught on your pants or something. I don't know, it's probably just a nitpick. And I enjoy carrying it. It carries well in the pocket. It was comfortable to use. Like I said, the only time I noticed any uncomfortable spots is whenever I was pushing hard into that wood. And that's because I was holding it like this. Whenever I put my thumb up here on the top in the saber grip, it was cutting just fine. So I think they pretty much priced it, you know, accordingly. I did some searching, and you got the only things that are a little bit under. You got the Ace Iona, that's just G10. It's not a bolstered knife, for $125. And then you got the Ace Biblio, that's all micarta, and that's $175. Let's see, the only other stuff that was cheaper is the Viper Novice. That's a front flipper, but it doesn't have a pocket clip. Steel Wheel Mini Intrigues, $135. And the Steel Wheel Mini Cut Jack is $144. And those are just both in G10. They don't have, you know, both. I think the two different, you know, when you do added a bolster, you're going to add a different process to this right here. So overall, I think it's a good knife. If you like the way it looks, it performed nicely. The steel, it held up pretty well. I wish it could run it a little bit harder. It feels like it's probably at around a 58 or so. I got a little bitty snag in the edge right there. Other than that, it still cuts decent, you know, like I would expect. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.